Jay, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another sort of post and delivery update for the week, pretty much. Stuff that I've had delivered and that. Past week has been really bad for me. I've been really ill. Haven't been out. I've pretty much been living on the sofa. I've been sleeping on the sofa under a duvet. My whole day's been spent on the sofa. I've done 4 days, very eaten very little. I've been so unwell. I need to start getting back to it and that sort of a thing. So luckily it's been a very quiet month, with the exception of Roger Rabbit due. Mad Max has been delayed, thankfully. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing for me at the moment. But I have got a few bits that I've got along the way. A mixture of comics and Blu-rays. We'll have a look. So first up is the Final Destination Quadrilogy. I've got the 5th film to follow. I've wanted these for a while, but I've never actually ever picked them up on Blu-ray. I know as individual releases, I think the second one is very difficult to get hold of. But I opted for the Final Destination Quadrilogy. So the first 4 films, and I've got the 5th one, like I said, individual come in, which was like £3. This did have a slipcover with it, but the slipcover was pretty tatty, which obviously I knew about, so I lobbed that away just to have that. So you know, I'm pleased with that. Next up is a comic book. I'll be sort of flitting as they come, so to speak. So this is issue 1 of the new Hulk series. I have got the previous Hulk series. I've got put them all in omnibus edition, like thick books, with a 4th book still to come. But Hulk has been very consistently pretty good at the moment, pretty good read. So I've continued it into this new series. Which I look forward to reading. That's that. Now, my next through the post delivery was the 4K Suicide Squad. Now, I know I'm a bit late to the game in picking this up. I didn't pick it up on day of release or anything like that. The reason being is because there were several different releases. You had the 2 different steel books, neither of which appealed to me whatsoever. I didn't like the art design on either of them, and thusly I wasn't in a rush to pick the film up. So I have picked it up recently. It cost me £17 because the disc is still in the player. The Blu-ray disc, it has no Blu-ray disc with it basically. The seller was one of these sellers that sells it as a 4K only, keeps the Blu-ray disc. It's got it for £17, just a 4K disc. 4K disc is downstairs in the player because I just rewatched it. But yeah, so I got it for £8 cheaper than normal, so I'm happy with that. I won't be watching it on anything other than 4K anyway, so no big deal whatsoever there. Next up, another Blu-ray is, and this has just had like a special edition release, one of them boutique label editions, is the film The Guest. Now, I was aware of the boutique label edition that came out. It was like £45. In my opinion, way overpriced. It did have a CD soundtrack in it, I believe. That held no interest to me whatsoever. So thusly, it's a film I've not actually seen, so I wouldn't go and pay £45 for it anyway. That'd just be mental. But £3 for a film I haven't seen is fair enough. I've seen a couple of scenes from it. It looks intriguing. It looked good. Dan Stevens is quite a good actor. I've got no problem with him in stuff I've seen him in previously. So I look forward to giving that a watch. Next up, and these are from my childhood. I found a seller selling the Zoidzilla. Yes, so I'll have a look at these first. What I've got here. I got that Zoidzilla. Then I got issue 1 of the Zoids Collected comics, and issue 2 of the Zoids Collected comic. Now, and then in here I have got issue 3 of the Zoids Collected comic, with issue 4 still to come. Now, Zoids I don't know if you would remember these, but it was a toy line from some time back, from the mid-80s, and I don't know, something just kicked my memory with it the other day, a few weeks ago. I thought, you know, I want to revisit the comics. Now, there have been sort of Japanese anime style cartoon series based around Zoids, and Japanese anime style comic book based around Zoids, though it is slightly, well, I say slightly, it's very different to what we got as Zoids, the story of Zoids over here, because in this is set on like an alien planet, where a group of humans crash, and there's these wars going on between the Zoids, and they're driven by little like robotic pilots, that being gold and silver, which used to get in the toys. Now, it also had elements of aliens in it, in that one of the crew members was an android himself, and all this. I can't really remember too much about it, because like I said, I'm going back to the mid-80s. All I remember is the toy line was fantastic, because like Transformers were essentially a puzzle. You know, they taught you fine movements with your hands and this sort of thing as you were building them, as you were playing with them or transforming them or building them. But with Zoids, you used to have like a sort of the littler Zoids in toy form. You had a little engine, a little motor that was wind up, and onto that you built the creature itself. You know, the smaller ones were like what I just showed you, where you had like the spiders or the crocodiles that you could get, with a pilot that sat in the cockpit and this sort of thing, and they were like wind up. But then you had the bigger battery powered ones like the gorilla one there, which was fantastic. I mean, these things looked really good. They were brilliant stuff. I mean, I remember, you know, these are what the models were like, and you built them, but they didn't glue or anything like that. They had these little plastic plugs to them. Yeah, you had these little plastic plugs on them that held it all in place. And I remember on one birthday when I was young, I'd been bought Zoidzilla, which was like Godzilla version, fantastic. I couldn't wait to get home and build it. I couldn't wait. But I got home, my brother had built it, and I was so upset that I never got to actually build it, because that was part of the fun of these, was the actually building of them. So yeah, I mean, there's some of the older, I mean, I remember all these: snail, crocodile, the manta ray, sort of winged thing, and I did have the big gorilla. But they were fantastic. So I'm trying to, as a comic fan, I don't know, I do like revisiting old stuff at times, and at the moment this is like appealing to me. So I'll see how far the collected issues go. Like I said, I do remember reading them as a kid. In the UK, they were in the Spider-Man and Zoids and Spider-Man combined comic that we had over here. I'm not sure about a US release or anything like that for these stories. I do remember the series ending on a cliffhanger. I do remember it ending but saying, oh, Zoids will be back sometime soon, and that never happened, never came to pass. So it always ended at this point where you never found out the conclusion of the story, which was highly unfortunate. But there you go, that's life. That's what happens. Anyway, so that was it. Those were my pickups so far this week, or deliveries, I should say, because like I said, I ain't been out and about. As of Monday, I hope to get back out. I'll get back to work. I've just been really, really rough. I had a bad time of it for the past week, over a week now, which ain't good. But even now, I've dozed for a couple of hours. Just middle of the day, I just get, I'm like that now. I'm just like, you know. But hopefully I'll get there. I'll be back. And yeah, there you go. Luckily, I said quiet month for it anyway, so all good. Anyway, this is AJ. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care all. Goodbye.